Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Please remember to like and subscribe. There is a lot of buzz and conjecture surrounding the Duggar family once more. This time, the focus is on Jana Duggar, the oldest of the Duggar daughters. She has been referred to as the Cinderella Duggar for a long time, because of her assistance in raising her younger siblings. Fans have been watching Jana stay unmarried for years as her siblings got married young, had kids and established families. But today, social media is blazing with speculations of a potential twin baby reveal, sending supporters into a frenzy of surprise, happiness, and incredulity. After a string of mysterious posts appeared online, raising suspicions that Jana was not only pregnant, but also possibly carrying twins, the commotion started. Since Jana has never openly acknowledged a committed relationship, many Duggar viewers were taken aback by this shocking revelation. Despite years of rumors of a romance with Wissmann, fans quickly saw the connection and conjectured that Steven would not only be present, but also be getting ready for fatherhood. Everyone was even more astonished by Steven's purported response. Those with knowledge of the matter said that Steven was astonished, but ecstatic at the prospect of having twins. If the rumors were accurate, Jana's life would undergo a significant upheaval that many had assumed would never occur. Fans of Duggar have expressed a range of sentiments on social media. Some praised the prospect of Jana becoming a mother at last, describing it as a wonderful blessing. However, some questioned if the Duggar, given their firmly held traditional beliefs and history of protecting personal information, family would openly admit such a revelation. Comments like, "Twins, I can't believe it. Jana deserves so much happiness," flooded Reddit threads and fan sites. And if this is accurate, Steven's response leads me to assume he's prepared to take charge. How are Jim, Bob and Michelle managing this, I wonder? Everything is altered by this. Discussions on Jana's peaceful lifestyle were also rekindled by the rumors. In contrast to her siblings who are, despite being in the spotlight a lot, Jana has led a more quiet existence, which has led to years of speculation about whether or not she would ever get married and start a family. Undoubtedly, one of the most dramatic and unexpected Duggar updates in recent memory would be the announcement of a twin baby. Neither Steven nor Jana have released any formal statements as of yet. Fans of Duggar, however, might soon see one of the most startling family announcements ever if the allegations turn out to be accurate. Jana Duggar, accompanied by Steven, bringing twins into the world. The Duggar, a family that has a history of announcing babies, might have just discovered their most unexpected turn ever. And if Steven's purported response is any indication, this might mark the start of Jana's brand new chapter. The one that fans have been anticipating for years. Longtime admirers of the Duggar family have always found Jana Duggar to be an intriguing character. Her life decisions and the course of her individual journey have been the focus of conjecture, criticism, and even rumors for many years. Of the entire Duggar family, Jana has distinguished herself from her siblings by being single long into her 30s, in contrast to their parents, who often married early and had children almost away. However, with the recent announcement that Jana Duggar is having her first child with Wissmann, that narrative seems to have changed in a revolutionary way. Fans and detractors alike have been enthralled by this revelation, which represents a significant turning point in the Duggar family's history and Jana's personal life. Narrative. The TLC reality series 19 Kids and Counting, which followed Jim, Bob and Michelle Duggar and their big family, helped the Duggar family become well known. Later, the program changed to Counting On, which highlighted the marriage, fatherhood, and adulthood experiences of many of the older Duggar children. Viewers have seen Jana's siblings, especially her sisters, marry in their late teens or early 20s, have children, and get married over the years. The children's arrival. Nonetheless, Jana continued to live in the Arkansas family home, raising her younger siblings and helping out around the house. Fans frequently referred to Jana as the family's second mother. Although her independence was occasionally commended, others saw her single status as proof of rigid family regulations, a lack of personal autonomy, or just her decision to wait for the proper mate. For years, there have been rumors of Jana's courtships, but none have received as much attention as her humility, close familial ties, and her alleged relationship with Nebraskan Wissmann. Although neither Jana nor Steven publicly acknowledged or rejected the claims, many conjectured that they had been secretly dating for a while. The storyline that Jana had at last found a partner was supported by social media posts, subliminal clues, and sporadic appearances together. Tucked away beneath the surface of Duggar speculation, however, the report remained mostly unsubstantiated. Jana's pregnancy was confirmed with. Therefore, the news of Steven Wissmann's child is huge. For a woman whose life has been closely examined by tabloids, fans, and critics alike, becoming a mother marks not just a significant personal achievement, but also a turning point in the continuous narrative of the Duggar family. It's an action that combines custom with unanticipated time. Even though Jana is 34 years old, and her sisters are starting a family later than many had expected, there is a tangible sense of enthusiasm among fans who had long hoped Jana would be happy. Pregnancy announcements in the Duggar family have traditionally been regarded as significant occasions, despite detractors' concerns about how this new chapter will fit with the family's ideals and the expectations placed on her. With 19 siblings and scores of grandchildren, the family has established a reputation for breaking news about babies frequently generating headlines on social media and in entertainment sources. However, Jana's distinct story arc makes her declaration stand out. For more than 10 years, she was portrayed as the unmarried sister who carried the burden of duty without appearing to have her own home to run. Fans' interpretations of her choices are altered by her journey into motherhood, which challenges that perception. Instead of always taking care of her brothers, Jana is now getting ready to become a mother herself, carrying a kid that will symbolize the union of two well-known conservative Christian families. Wissmann, Steven. Background gives the news much more intrigue. People who know Steven, a pilot with a strong family and community presence, have said that he is grounded, diligent, and fervently religious. Fans have been speculating about his courtship with Jana since before 2020, despite the fact that it has never been officially acknowledged. The Duggar family's wary handling of the media and Jana's own wish to live a more secluded life are both reflected in the secrecy surrounding their relationship. To her siblings, now that the pregnancy has been verified, the mystery has been lifted and the public's perception of the couple's connection has become more concrete. The Duggar brand, which has been severely damaged in recent years by the controversies surrounding Josh Duggar and the aftermath from his crimes, is significantly impacted by pregnancy itself. Given the family's difficulties in upholding a favorable public image, Jana's pregnancy might offer a welcome story of rebirth and hope, shifting focus from contentious issues to the principles of love, family, and fresh starts. In this way, Jana's child can represent both her own happiness and a possible reorientation of the Duggar family narrative in the public eye. It is impossible to overstate the emotional impact of this announcement on supporters. Jana has traditionally been seen as someone who put her family's needs ahead of her own goals, spending her time and energy caring for her younger siblings and running the home. Many people felt perhaps she was denied the chance to follow her own path and was unjustly constrained by expectations. Discussions among fans are infused with a sense of vindication following the announcement of her pregnancy. The fact that Jana is finally enjoying the delight of establishing her own family instead of just taking care of other people's needs is being celebrated by supporters. It is a tale of perseverance paid off, proving that a schedule is not necessary for a meaningful and satisfying existence. The Duggar family's internal responses are also. Fans are quite interested in it. As longtime grandparents, Michelle and Jim Bob are probably overjoyed to have another grandchild. However, because Jana was frequently regarded as their most dependable daughter at home, her pregnancy has particular significance. The information might encourage her siblings to start new chapters in their lives at any time. Now residing in California with her spouse Jeremy, Jinger has publicly disassociated herself from parts of her family's doctrines, commemorate her sister's achievement as a show of support. Similarly, despite the family's strained relationships in recent years, Joanna, Jill, and others should take this opportunity to express their support and further fortify the ties amongst siblings. Fans are curious to see how Jana will handle motherhood as she gets ready for it. She is definitely prepared because of her years of experience working with children. However, the difficulties of parenting extend beyond raising children. keeping her individuality in check, controlling the. She will be put to the test in new ways as she manages the responsibilities of parenting a child and her relationship with Steven in the spotlight. However, there is hope that Jana's patience and grounded personality will help her get through this phase of life. Given the strict beliefs of the Duggar family, it is also unclear how, if at all, Jana's pregnancy and marriage to Steven will be covered by the media. Since Counting On was cancelled, TLC has stopped running Duggar-related shows, therefore it's uncertain if Jana will decide to keep her maternity experience private or public. Supporters predict that she might emulate Jill and other siblings, who now use social media instead of reality TV to selectively give personal information. Steven and Jana choose this path. Instead of full-scale publicity, fans might just get snippets of their infant and family life. However, the Duggar family has attracted fresh attention as a result of this news. Previously thought to be the sibling who might stay single, Jana has completely changed the story. Despite the strict demands of her upbringing, she has forged her own path, making decisions on her own timetable rather than being pushed into one, as evidenced by her pregnancy, which is both a personal victory and a societal shift within the Duggar heritage. It's also important to recognize the wider cultural ramifications of Jana's pregnancy. For a long time, the Duggars have been seen as embodying a specific conservative ideology, Christian family life, in which getting married and having children early in life are actively sought after. By delaying until her mid-30s, Jana dispels that myth and presents a different viewpoint to her society. Her narrative can encourage those who are under pressure from religious or cultural conventions to acknowledge that there is no one right way to live a happy and faithful life, and that fulfillment and happiness can be found later in life. Additionally, pregnancy indicates a possible merging of customs between the Wissmann and Duggar families. Although they both had religious and family-oriented upbringings, they each have their own traditions and methods. Fans will be watching Jana and Steven attentively as they manage these parent-child interactions, curious to see what type of home they build together. Will they forge a fresh path that shows their uniqueness, or will they rigorously follow Duggar customs? As they get ready for the birth of their first child, the answers will become clear in the upcoming months. As of right present, much of the bad headlines about the Duggars has been eclipsed by the excitement surrounding Jana's baby. Supporters are rallying behind her, posting on social media to show their joy, and making predictions about specifics like due dates, baby names, and how Jana will parent differently than her sisters. Since Jana's pregnancy represents the long-awaited completion of her own path into motherhood, it seems especially meaningful in a family that has always embraced new life with tremendous excitement. It is anticipated that Jana will continue to garner a great deal of media attention as the month progresses and the baby's arrival approaches. As fans have long been fascinated by her life, every update will probably be examined, from nursery ideas to baby shower themes. Despite the enormous amount of media coverage, it also highlights the influence Jana has had on those who have grown up watching her on TV. From a young woman assisting her parents in raising her brothers to an adult setting out on motherhood independently, it's not only a family announcement that Jana Duggar is expecting Steven Wissmann's child. Years of conjecture, optimism, and changing narratives are captured in this cultural moment. It confirms that she can follow her own path independent of deadlines or expectations. Makes followers want to follow the Duggar tale even more. Most significantly, it marks the beginning of a new chapter in Jana's life as she assumes the position of mother, prepared to accept the pleasures and trials that are ahead. The internet was ablaze with discussion when it was revealed that Jana Duggar was finally expecting her first child with Steven Wissmann. After over 20 years of following the Duggar family, fans were overcome with emotion. However, out of all the responses that came in from the Duggar Watchers community, one was very noteworthy. Jinger Duggar's sincere and invaluable reaction to her older sister's eagerly anticipated announcement. Jinger's reaction story is more than merely a sibling's delight. It symbolizes the Duggar sisters' changing relationships, years of complicated family history, and the nuanced feelings that surround a family that is both infamously conservative and intricately entangled in scandal and love. For many years, Jana Duggar's journey appeared to be very different from her sisters'. Supporters observed as her siblings, who were frequently in their late teens or early 20s, quickly married and had children. Jana, however, stayed at home in Arkansas, taking care of her younger siblings, and handling duties that amounted to her acting as a second mother in the family. Jana remained where she had always been, while her sisters left, had families, and even turned away from some parts of their childhood. She was referred to as the Cinderella Duggar, the sister who never quite managed to secure her happily ever after, even though both family members and admirers praised her for being strong, caring, and attractive. When she eventually gave her, it seemed as though a decades-long story had reached its most satisfactory conclusion with her love with Wissmann, and now her pregnancy. Perhaps the most heartwarming response of all came from Jinger Duggar, who has emerged as one of the most vocal Duggar daughters since relocating to Los Angeles with her husband Jeremy Voilalo. She managed her own transition from a rigid Duggar daughter to an independent lady who has started to doubt many of the beliefs, while living apart from her family for years she grew up with. In her memoir, Jinger talked about her struggles with fear, her quest for a more intimate and liberated relationship with God, and her fight with the family's rigid understanding of Christianity. Jana's pregnancy announcement was not your typical news for someone like Jinger, who has had to bear the burden of abandoning some of the Duggar family's defining principles. She had long liked and sympathized with the sister, and the revelation was extremely moving. According to family-related sources, that Jinger's first response was one of ecstatic delight. When she heard the news, she reportedly started crying. She was overcome with emotion since she understood the significance of this time for her sister. For years, Jinger had seen Jana struggle with the stigma of being the always single Duggar, a moniker that evoked sympathy as well as condemnation from fans. Jinger was more aware than most of how challenging it must have been for Jana to deal with the incessant inquiries about why she hadn't been married, why she hadn't had children, if she was happy with her life decisions. Thus, Jinger's tears were not merely tears of joy. They served as a testament to Jana's tenacity, tolerance, and silent fortitude in the face of pressure. Layers of sisterly pride were also present in Jinger's wonderful response. There has always been an implicit hierarchy among the Duggar girls based on public opinion, milestones, and age. Joanna, Jill, Jinger, and Jessa all adhered to the conventional Duggar path of getting married young, starting a family, and entering the public eye as young mothers. Being the eldest daughter, Jana always seemed to be the one who would go first. But she didn't. Rather, she was the last of the elder sisters to accept motherhood and marriage. This reversal of expectations made Jinger's response even more significant. She stated that it made no difference how long the trip took, or how different Jana's path appeared from others. What was important was the fact that Jana had come here on her own terms. The connection Jinger has always had with Jana is what gives fans such significance to her response. Growing up, the two were known to be close, despite Jinger being several years younger. They frequently collaborated on housework, talked late into the night, and supported one another when their family's reality shows were on the road. Jinger has expressed admiration for Jana's caring nature, dependability, and consistent presence as a sister who provided more than. She never demanded anything in return. Jana served as a kind of safe haven for Jinger. Listening to the younger Duggar daughters' struggles with the demands of their particular upbringing without passing judgment. Even though their physical distance increased, Jinger and Jana maintained their emotional bond when her life led her across the nation. That intimacy explains why Jinger's response was so honest and passionate. Someone who understood the depth of Jana's trip, and was extremely relieved, responded in this way. For the first time, her sister was enjoying herself. According to reports, Jinger called her sister's pregnancy the most wonderful blessing in a social media post expressing her love and excitement for Jana. The tone difference between Jinger's and the other siblings' comments was immediately apparent to fans. In brief official posts, some of the Duggar siblings congratulated Jana, but Jinger's response was emotional. She wrote about how long she had hoped to see this day, how proud she was of Jana, and she was ecstatic to see her sister become a mommy. Many Duggar viewers commented that Jinger's response encapsulated the mood of fans worldwide, and the comments swiftly went viral. That Jana's pregnancy was a life-altering event that had been anticipated for years, rather than just another Duggar baby announcement. The change Jinger has experienced in her personal life is also reflected in her answer. Jinger, who resides in Los Angeles with her spouse Jeremy, has gone through being a mother in a totally different way than her sisters in Arkansas. She has established a distinct identity by embracing chances outside of the Duggar family bubble, dressed differently than the rigid Duggar dress code permits, and striking a balance between her faith and her more contemporary lifestyle. However, Jinger's response demonstrates that her relationship with Jana remains unbroken in spite of their disparate lifestyles and geographical locations. She still views her sister as a source of support, and as someone who is now at last assuming a new position she had long merited. The significance of Jana's pregnancy in the Duggar family timeline is further highlighted by the public's preoccupation with Jinger's response. The sisters' every action has been scrutinized by fans for years, who frequently gauge their value by the milestones of marriage and parenthood. Some criticized Jana for not following the pattern, while others praised her independence, making her delayed voyage a source of dispute. Fans receive a strong message from Jinger's emotional acceptance of the fact that every sister's path is different, and that there is no right or wrong timing. Jinger unintentionally changed the topic of discussion by applauding Jana's patience and her new chapter, rebuffing years of conjecture that portrayed her single status as a failure rather than a decision. In private, Jinger has expressed how excited she is to meet Jana's child and see her sister go through the pleasures and difficulties of parenting. She has stated her belief that Jana would be a successful mother, emphasizing that she has unparalleled experience in raising children, having spent the most of her life as a caretaker. The idea of Jana holding her own child for the first time is nearly too much for Jinger to handle, for the sister who had given so much to others without yet experiencing this joy herself. It signifies not only the beginning of Jana's journey as a mother, but also the realization of a long-held dream. Jinger's priceless response has been swiftly echoed by fans on social media. Many people mentioned that they also felt like crying when they learned about Jana's pregnancy, and they felt validated by Jinger's candor. With time, Jana has developed into